A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant escalation of military presence in South America, the U.S. military has announced the deployment of the USS Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier to the region as part of an intensified campaign against drug trafficking operations. This move comes on the heels of a series of rapid military strikes against vessels accused of smuggling drugs, a strategy that has been a hallmark of the Trump administration's approach to combating narcotics in the hemisphere. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth confirmed the deployment, stating that the carrier and its strike group are being sent to bolster the U.S. capacity to detect, monitor, and disrupt illicit activities that threaten the safety and prosperity of the United States. Currently, the USS Ford is stationed in the Mediterranean Sea, with its strike group comprising 5 destroyers. However, details regarding the timeline for their arrival in South America remain unclear. The recent military buildup in the Caribbean and off the coast of Venezuela is unprecedented, with more than 6,000 sailors and Marines already deployed in the region. The potential arrival of the USS Ford Strike Group could add nearly 4,500 more personnel, along with 9 squadrons of aircraft, significantly enhancing U.S. military capabilities in the area. This surge in military activity coincides with Tropical Storm Melissa, which is currently affecting the Central Caribbean and poses a risk of developing into a hurricane, complicating the logistics of military operations. In a striking development, Hegseth revealed that the U.S. military had conducted its 10th strike on a vessel linked to drug trafficking, resulting in 6 fatalities. This brings the total death toll from these strikes to at least 43 since operations began in early September. The targeted vessel was reportedly operated by the Tren de Aragua gang, which has been identified by the Trump administration as a foreign terrorist organization. Hegseth's remarks have drawn parallels between the current military actions and the post-9/11 war on terrorism, suggesting a shift in how the U.S. government views drug cartels. President Trump has gone so far as to label these cartels as unlawful combatants, indicating a willingness to engage in military action against them. Lawmakers from both sides of the aisle have expressed concerns regarding the lack of congressional authorization for these military actions, with some questioning the potential for escalation and the possibility of U.S. troops being deployed on the ground. Amid these developments, tensions with Colombia have also heightened, with the Trump administration imposing sanctions on Colombian President Gustavo Petro and his associates over alleged involvement in drug trafficking. This move signals a broader strategy to confront not only drug cartels, but also the governments that may be perceived as complicit in the drug trade. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has condemned U.S. military operations as an attempt to undermine his government, asserting that his security forces are prepared to defend the country's coastline against potential U.S. attacks. Maduro's government has conducted military exercises along its extensive coastline, showcasing its readiness to respond to perceived threats. Analysts suggest that the U.S. military's increased presence is less about combating drug trafficking and more about sending a message to regional governments to align with U.S. interests. Elizabeth Dickinson, a senior analyst at the International Crisis Group, noted that the phrase "drugs are the excuse" is commonly heard in discussions about U.S. military strategy in the region. As the situation continues to evolve, many are left wondering how far the Trump administration is willing to go in its efforts to combat drug trafficking and whether this military buildup will lead to a protracted conflict in South America. With both military and political stakes high, the implications of this escalation could have far-reaching consequences for U.S. foreign policy and regional stability. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.